resume, the objective is to get a job. Why don't you start with a career summary? Put the number of years that you have experience with, the unique aspects of your knowledge. Put that into 2 to 3 sentences up top, and then the person who's reading will have an idea of your entire holistic profile. If you're making a change in your career, say from admin, you're going to admin accounting, you're making a change in your career, tell why you're making the change or what makes you eligible or qualified for the change that you're making. Avoid too many overused words like hardworking, punctual, team-oriented. Those words we see a lot on resumes. Try to use unique words such as analyze, enhance, foster, navigate. That'll make your resume stand out. So next would be writing your experiences. So we have covered about your career summary. Next would be adding your experiences. Even before that, I would add an area called key skill set. We'll talk about that in a bit. When you're adding your key accomplishments, I would say start on a clean sheet of paper. Think about your first experience. Write what you thought you enjoyed at that position. Write what you have contributed to the company. How did you accomplish that? Did somebody help you in that accomplishment? What efforts made your work look better? Did you save money? Did you save effort? Did you bring about a new process? So think about all of that and write it down in a piece of paper. And then pick out what is most relevant to that position. Have that job posting on one hand and start writing your key accomplishments. If you see that in the job posting, there are a few things that you have done, write those words, write those duties and accomplishments that you have done. Your key accomplishments form the foundation of your resume. So put that down, put all your accomplishments and key in those numbers. So next would be adding numbers to your accomplishment, such as what cost have you saved, what efficiency have you increased. An example here I have is as a project manager, I've managed successfully a team of 12 on a $2 million project for a period of 6 months on time, on budget. So that one sentence can tell a lot about that person. He or she was a project manager, managing a team of 12 and on a project that is $2 million. And the period of that project, and was it finished on time, on budget. So one sentence, but then that one sentence that talks a lot about the accomplishment too. And another example I have here is achieved sales of around $20,000 or $12,000 within a period of 2 months. Rather than saying I was a top seller in my team, say what you accomplished, how many people were on the team, what was the top number that you sold, how long did it take for you to achieve that. So numbers added to your accomplishment show compelling evidence of your skills and achievement. The next one would be relevancy. When you're applying for a position, ask yourself, why is this position important for you? Why am I applying for this? How can I add value to this role? Add keywords from the posting that is relevant to your experience. Make sure that all what you add is honest and sincere. Add how many years of experience you have, relevant experience you have in that industry. In your resume, when your resume is only 2 to 3 pages, avoid adding hobbies in there, interests, or references. Some companies are not even asking for references. So make sure that you can give that later. Do not spend that space or utilize the space only for your experience. Do not waste that space for anything like references. Make sure that it is work-related that you put on your resume. Okay, so last but not the least, make your resume clear and concise. A recruiter spends less than 30 seconds on a resume. So make sure that you have that relevancy, you have put in your numbers, and it's clear and concise and easy for them to read and understand your resume. Ideally, it should be 2 pages. If your experience spans over 10 years, I would say go more than 2 pages. But if it's less than 2 pages, if it's less than 3 pages, that'll be ideal. I'm gonna go back. Your first half of your resume should have 80% of your expertise of your career. And for job titles, some companies might have job titles such as Analyst 1, 2, and 3. So there could be a clear difference between the Analyst 1 and 3. There could be added responsibilities for the Analyst 3. There could be supervisory responsibilities. So make sure that that title can be understood easily by the recruiter. If it's a senior analyst and what are the duties of the analyst, make sure that you add that in the job title so it's easy for them to understand what that real job title means. So ideally, your resume should contain your education, your experience, volunteer experience if you have any, affiliations to professional associations. So with that, try and make it clear and concise. So I'm going to give you a structure of your resume altogether. First of all, make sure that you have your contact information clearly added on top of your resume. Make sure that your phone number is working, your email address is your current email address. Add your career summary in there with the number of years of experience, the industry relevancy, and your unique set of knowledge and skills. Thirdly, you can add your key skills with 3 or 4 bullet points. Say, for instance, if you have experience in SAP, if you have experience in Maximo, if that is the key point in that job posting, make sure that you add that in bullet points. Next would be your experience, your duties and responsibilities. So add them, key in your numbers, your accomplishment when you add your experience. Then would be the education. You can add your main education, and then professional development. We all are on a continuous journey of improving ourselves. So any certifications or any professional development that you're making on a continuous basis, you can add that. Volunteering experience is great. Make sure that you volunteer at an organization which is relevant maybe to your profession, and you can add that in. Affiliations to professional organizations. So by following this structure, I think you will have a good flow of your resume, and it'll be easy for the recruiter to understand your expertise. So for a quick couple of minutes, I wanted to cover about cover letters as well. I know that a lot of people do not include cover letters, but it is said that only 20% of recruiters read cover letters. And if your resume is going to a person who is among this 20%, make sure that you have a cover letter. A cover letter is written in a letter format. So you have to add the date, salutation, your contact information, and have an opening, body, and a closing as well. In the opening, explain about the company, explain why you applied and what makes you a good fit, why you like the company, and you can also add key elements of the company or the industry that you admire. In the body, make sure that you have put in what qualifications you have and what makes you a great fit for this position. And towards the end, you can also add your contact information. So you're adding your contact information twice. So it is giving good viewership for the recruiter. Again, keep it short, grammatically correct, and relevant to the position. So that's what I would say about cover letters. As I said, some people, 20% of recruiters read cover letters. I'm not a big fan of cover letters, but if somebody is reading, make sure that you enter and customize it every time you apply. So I know that you all are here in the journey of improving yourself. You make progress every day. So ambition, keep those ambitions high, because ambitions create goals. Goals give us hope. Hope creates motivation. Motivation keeps us focused on our progress. So progress every day, even with small steps, make that progress every day. Make that happen every day. I wanted to leave you with some bonus resources as well. All of what I've said and more is in my book, Overcome Your Interview Anxieties. It is on my website. It's www.talentsuccess.ca. It is available on Amazon as well as in Owl's Nest bookstore, which is in the Britannia area in Calgary. You can email me with the feedback of this presentation and I can provide you with a free resume template. My email is here. It's leena@talentsuccess.ca. Feel free to connect with me via LinkedIn or Instagram. My LinkedIn connection handle is there. Instagram handle is here as well. So at this time, I want to thank you all, especially ISC, Immigrant Services Calgary, Meenakshi and Carlin as well. I want to wish you well, stay well, distance physically, but stay connected socially. Thank you.
Thank you, Leena. Carlin, before you stop the Facebook Live, I just want to mention something here. There are some people who have logged in, but I cannot find them on the registration list. So the resources that Leena has shared, her email address and everything, that will be sent to people that registered and show up on the registration list. But if you have registered by a different name and now you're logged in by a different name, we will not be able to make out who it is and we will not be able to send the resources to you. So if you have logged in by a different name, please write in the chat box under what name did you register. I cannot find Edmundo, Claudia, Juan, and Monisha in the registration list. So if you have registered under a different name, please write it in the chat. Thank you. And Carlin, now you can talk about the stopping Facebook Live so that I can stop that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Leena, so much for your wonderful presentation. It's always excellent to see different ways in which we can improve our resumes because it's so important and everyone wants to be better at resume writing. I do think we are going to soon say goodbye to our Facebook Live audience and thank you for joining us through Facebook. And for the Q&A, that's reserved for people who are accessing this event through Zoom. So goodbye Facebook audience and thank you for joining us. And